So here we are. We've just done this bit. We've just done this operation, and what do you think? Do you think they achieved their goals? I mean, I know you.
I think
Nobody really knows at this point, but yeah.
well, the at the end of the day, if you were in a room full of people that didn't have to talk on TV, they most definitely achieved their goals. Nobody, not even Netanyahu, when he started this thing and said, "I'm going to annihilate Iran's capability to build a bomb," he first of all, as soon as that first bomb dropped, and he said, "I'm going to annihilate this, all the capability to build a bomb," I went, "You can't do anything against Fordo. It's impossible." And I was thinking maybe he's going to do a commando raid. This would be the kick-ass thing ever. Maybe he's going to do it on the ground, or he's going to get America to do it. And I'm like, I'm not sure we're getting involved. Well, sure enough, we did. But even when he started going, you can't kill what you don't know. And right after, like at the end of May, the IAEA, the nuclear guys for the UN, said, "Hey, they failed this test. They're developing stuff, and they said they wouldn't. They're developing it." As soon as that happened, Israel said we're going to attack. Iran said we have a different facility we just made. It's almost completed. Nobody's talked about that facility yet. But if that's true, then they have some capacity to do stuff. And so when you say we're going to destroy um, Iran's capacity to build a nuclear weapon, the only way to actually destroy Iran's capacity to build nuclear weapons is to destroy their desire to do so.
This is
If
such a
they
smart
have
point.
if they have the desire to build a bomb, you cannot destroy that desire. They're going to have the capacity sooner or later. So I think the goal, while we've used terms like obliterate and Netanyahu said
Yeah.
annihilate and all this, the
Hmm.
true goal is set them back. Set them back. They can't. So I don't want them to have a weapon within the next 5 years. And if we have to rinse and repeat in 5 years, then we'll do that. And in that case, I think, yeah, they definitely accomplish their goals. That Iran has lost the capacity for the centrifuges. The only question is that 400 um, kilos of weapons grade stuff. So it doesn't take much to get that to weapons grade. Now, when you talk about, and this is something else, they're always arguing apples and oranges. Even that report that came out. So the report and the headline is, we only set them back a couple of months. Well, what are you talking about here? Are you talking about Fordo? Because I guarantee you it's going to take more than a couple of months to fix that place. It's annihilated. It's done. So when they say I obliterated Fordo, I think that's a correct statement. I think you did obliterate Fordo. But you're not arguing the second point. Did you set back their capacity to do nuclear weapons? So when people talk about how close are they to a bomb, one school, because they're not using the same definitions, nobody's defining what close means. So one school will say the hardest thing about building a nuclear bomb is getting the enriched uranium or plutonium, whatever you're going to use. It takes a lot of effort to get that to a level where you can build a bomb. So once you get it to that level, then you're very close to building a bomb, according to them. Other people will say, yeah, it's laborious to get the uranium to such a level, but it's not really technically tough. Once you figure out the centrifuges, it just takes a lot of time to do it. The really tough thing is to put an implosion device on a ballistic missile and have it go somewhere and blow up. That's what's super technically hard to do. And they say Iran is not technically capable of doing that. So that's why you get this disparity when some person says they're months away. Well, it's because they're months away from having weapons grade uranium. It doesn't mean they have a bomb. And others say, no, it's going to be at least a year. Well, that's because they don't know how to put it on a ballistic missile. But then
Well,
there's a
yeah.
third thing.
Oh, go
There's
ahead, please.
so to use it in a ballistic missile, and I'm not a physics professor, but I know a little bit about it. I mean, there's two types of nuclear weapons. There's a gun type and the implosion type. The gun type is what Fat Boy was we used in Hiroshima, and that's basically a tube. You got uranium on this side and uranium on this side, and you basically just shoot it together. And when it hits, it goes critical mass. It's not that efficient, but it blows up, and as Hiroshima will show, it makes a big blow up. But it's a huge device. You can't put that on a missile, so it's limited use. The other kind's implosion, where it's mathematically you've got all these charges all around the ball, and you're basically compressing the ball to critical mass, which is much more scientifically hard to do. You've got to have everything triggered exactly right. If one charge doesn't go off correctly, it won't go to critical mass, etc. And that's what goes into a ballistic missile. So when they say, if you're saying that Iran only wants to do the ballistic missile approach, then yes, they may be a year away because they can't get the implosion stuff right. But if they have the weapons grade uranium, they can build a gun tube nuclear device, which is much more crude, but it's still a nuclear bomb. So you can't put it on a
Mm-hmm.
ballistic missile, but as we proved, you can drop it out of an airplane or you could put it in the back of a truck and blow it up something. It's still a nuclear weapon. So there's all these different variations that every time someone starts talking about how close Iran is, the first thing I want to ask is define close.